I shouldn't have to talk about this, but I'm going to. Negotiating pricing. Look, some of you guys have some phenomenal pricing out there, but sometimes you just don't know how to negotiate what you're worth. Side note, at the time I'm filming this, I do have a broken nose and my face hurts entirely, but that's besides the point. See, no one likes negotiating pricing. In fact, it's one of those uncomfortable areas that we as business owners kind of have to talk through, because it's something that is so uncomfortable because you're essentially debating with someone else your worth. So where do you even begin? I mean, first and foremost, you for sure should start with just having a little respect for yourself, right? If the client or potential client was like, hey, we have a decent following, this would be a great exposure opportunity for you. Red flag. Red flag up the wazoo. Never do anything that someone wants you to do for them for free. However, I'm not saying free work is terrible. Just make sure that when you're doing free work, it was your idea to do the free work in the first place. Because if you're doing free work for someone else that they want you to do free work for them, it's because they value you at something, so they should pay for said value. But there is a small little trade-off, because if you're doing a trade for information or a booth or some advertisement that's legitimate, then yeah, free work can be a thing. However, if it comes down to negotiating with said potential client, you should definitely know how and where to begin. Now, personally, for me, when it comes to negotiating with said potential client, what I do is, number one, I set an hourly rate for myself. This is the rate in which I won't work under. For me, at the time that I'm filming this video, my minimum rate is $300 per hour, regardless of the outcome. Now, do I have sales? Sure. Do I give discounts? Absolutely. When it comes to a new client inquiring about what I could do for them, it's $300 per hour flat. That's just my going rate at the time that I'm recording this. And stick to your hourly rate too. Don't let them say well, how is $50 an hour plus a meal? Don't let them negotiate with you. $300 is that rate for a reason. It's set in stone. There's no changing it unless I dictate that I want to give a discount or anything else like that. But it's not up to the client, it's up to me. And it should be up to you on those discounts, but set an hourly rate for yourself with the bare minimum that you would work for and never go underneath it. Another tip that I have for you to set yourself up for success is something that is highly debatable, and it's something that I personally believe in because it makes my potential customers happy. Post your pricing. Oh my gosh, this has saved me so many times in terms of negotiating, because I'm those are my prices. If I were new, I'd build packages out and I'd set the pricing for them online. This gives everyone a great idea on what your starting prices are. Now, I'm not saying post every detail of every single add-on. You absolutely can. However, if you even just say starting price $1,500 day rate or something of that sense, that would help you build out your negotiation tactics a lot better, because if they're well, what if you do $1,000 for a day rate? It's hey, you knew before even coming into this conversation that my day rate is $1,500. So if you just post your pricing online, you'll run into less clients trying to negotiate for your prices. Now, if you just have on your website a button that says, inquire about my prices, there might be some pushback when you quote your actual prices. Not to mention, when someone tries to lowball you or negotiate with you in your prices, they're essentially just telling you that they don't value you at the said price point that you value yourself at. And to me, if they try to negotiate, that's such a red flag, because whatever you're going to give them, they're going to have something to complain about because they don't value what you do at its original price. However, if you sell yourself as a $10,000 photographer or $10,000 videographer, you have to back it up with facts and services to prove that you're worth $10,000. There has been instances where I've had couples say that like, hey, we only have a budget of $2,000. What can you do for us with that kind of budget? I wouldn't do the same things I would with a $3,000 package, because that is something I promised another couple, and I'm not going to undercut my prices to accommodate someone else, because it wouldn't be fair to the couple that paid $3,000. However, what I would do if someone had a $2,000 budget is I would tell them, hey, I could be there for 5 hours and give you a 5 to 7 minute highlight instead of a 9 to 14 minute film over the course of 8 hours. Because that is the negotiation tactic. They're not going to get something that someone with $3,000 paid, because they didn't have $3,000. So how can I accommodate to the person that has less money? Is simply just take away amenities, take away time, take away the length of the edit. But you can't promise what you promised someone that paid more than them, because that's unfair to the person that paid more in the first place. That's why I have my prices listed, because it's so important for all my couples to be informed of what they should expect. There's been plenty of moments where I will take a couple out for coffee, and specifically the groom will be nonstop negotiating on what I could do for them at a certain price point. I had a groom when I was first starting, and I quoted them $1,800 to cover 8 hours of their wedding day. And this is, I want to say like 2 years ago, and what happened was he just kept asking for more and more discounts. And don't get me wrong, I'll try my best to accommodate every single couple, but there comes a point where you asking for discounts devalues me as an artist, because I value myself as an artist currently at $3,000 for videographing a wedding. And that's not unheard of. There's plenty of videographers in my area that charge $5,000 to $7,000 to $10,000 for the same stuff that I do. It's just they've been doing it for 15 years and I've been doing it for 4. So of course I think I value myself less than them. However, the price point in which I'm at, I still feel like is really great, because that's what I value myself at. And I'm not trying to sell you, my audience, on me, but when someone tries to negotiate your prices down, it's really kind of disrespectful. And when it comes to a point where they keep asking and asking and asking for a lower price point because they're trying to negotiate, my best advice, drop them as a couple. They're gonna find something to complain about, and that's just how the world works. Because there's something about asking for discounts means that they don't respect you at your price point, and they're not gonna respect your work that you give them. And I hate the fact that that's the way it is, but it just is. And there's nothing you could do about it. So when it comes to negotiating, respect yourself and respect your prices. If you feel like you learned something, by all means hit that subscribe button to see more content. If you disagree with me on any of these topics, by all means leave a comment down below. I'll be more than happy to address it or even make an entire video on it. But I love building a community, and these are just my thoughts on negotiating prices. So catch you in the next one.